Hi, this is Drew. I'm one half of the Vegan Heathens podcast, and I wanted to do a short monologue about a pet peeve. So today, my pet peeve is going to be the idea that you cannot prove a negative. This is a claim that you hear all the time, and I don't know where it comes from. Certainly not your college professor of logic, certainly not a textbook on logic. It's this folk myth that's gotten out there, this folk truth that it's impossible to prove a negative. And in fact, there's no reason that you can't prove a negative any more than you can not prove a positive. The real question is, what's your standard of evidence? And if I want to prove that I have a pepper, well, I have a pepper in my hand. You can see it. If you give me a definition of what a pepper is, this will fit that definition. If you could come here, you could feel it. You could taste it. It tastes like a pepper. You know, there's a lot of evidence that I have a pepper in my hand. Now, if I wanted to prove that I don't have a pepper in my hand, it's just as easy. I can show you my hand. I can show you that my hand can pass through the area on top of my hand. If there was a pepper there, we both agree by the definition of pepper and our knowledge of physics and the world around us. If there were a pepper in my hands, I wouldn't be able to pass my hand over this space. Now, some of you are going to say, well, what if it's a really tiny pepper? What if it's what if it's a ghost pepper that your hand can't touch? What if it's, what if there's actually one of my fingers is actually a pepper and we can't prove that there's no pepper. One of these crazy things could be true. Okay, well maybe this isn't a pepper. Maybe this is actually a plastic model of a pepper. Maybe you're dreaming of a pepper. The truth is, you can be ridiculous about anything. You can ask for unreasonable standards of evidence. But if you're going to use a reasonable standard of evidence, it's equally easy to prove a negative as it is to prove a positive. Logic makes no distinction between positive claims and negative claims. If I had to guess where this idea that you can't prove a negative comes from, it might be because we're more commonly making absolute negative claims. A common one might be, is there a God, is there not a God? Well, you can never prove there's no God anywhere in the world if you're accepting any definition of God, any location, interacting with Earth or not. You can be ridiculous about it. Whereas with positive claims, we're usually saying, is there a roast in the oven? Yes, there is. But we could equally make a mundane negative claim. There's no roast in the oven. You didn't put it in. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Look. So anyway, point is, there's no difference between proving a positive and proving a negative. They are both equally trivial with a reasonable standard of evidence and an easily proven claim. They're both impossible if you're going to only accept an insane standard of evidence that is not what we accept in our daily life.